Detail by detail by detail, John tells us again and again, unless we eat the flesh and drink the blood of Christ, we do not have life within us. And I know that growing up as a child, if something was really important, my parents would tell me again and again and again the same thing. Always say please, always say thank you. Don't forget to wash your hands after using the bathroom. And I was told that one several times. But every detail was important. And John continues to repeat it. We've heard it the last couple of weeks. If you've been at Mass, you've heard the bread of life discourse. Jesus telling us that this is his flesh, this is his blood. And you would think that with all that detail that John puts into this, especially when it includes one whole chapter of his gospel, not just a sentence or a phrase, one whole chapter of his gospel is about this. It's amazing that in the Gospel of John, there is nothing mentioned about the Last Supper. Did he forget something? Did he overlook something? Why would John, if he talks so much about Jesus being the bread of life, the Eucharist, why would he not include something, maybe even just a line, about the Last Supper? In John's thought, the communion table and the dinner table and the picnic table on the seashore or hillside, they're all alike. In all of them, we may taste and touch and handle the bread and wine which brings us Christ. Christianity would be a poor thing if Christ was simply confined here to our church. And it's John's belief that we can find him anywhere in a Christ-filled world. It's not that he belittles the sacrament at all, but he expands it. John goes even further, so that we find Christ not only here at this altar, but then when we go out, we find him everywhere where men and women may meet together to enjoy the gifts of God. And so today we are blessed to have with us Sister Rose. She is here to tell us how we might find Christ in the world by helping the ministry that she works with. The Archdiocese has what we call a mission cooperation plan. And so today I invite Sister Rose to come forward to tell us a little bit about the work that she does and how we might find Christ and helping her mission.
Dear brothers and sisters in Christ, I am a Good Shepherd sister, and we serve 72 countries in the world. And our charism is to help the prostitutes to change their lives, and the unwed mothers, and also the runaway teenagers. And the Irish sister came to our country, Vietnam. That's why I joined them. And today, we always need somebody to follow the step of the Good Shepherd, to bring hope and joy to many people. So I want to invite any young girls who would like to continue the mission of the Good Shepherd we have some information for you. And I was blessed to have my 50th anniversary last year through the grace of God. And I thank God for sending me today to St. Peter Church to speak the voice of the voiceless. And it is an honor for me to speak on their behalf. And I also thank Father Bodin and all of you for giving me this time to share with you the mission that's very, very deep in my heart. You know the Vietnam War, before the fall of Vietnam in 1975, I had to make a very difficult decision to leave Vietnam because all the Irish sisters left the country. And so I have nobody to live with. So the sister told me, if you live with us, you can continue your vocation. And if you're not, you no longer be a sister. And I really love my vocation. So I pray and pray, and so I pray the Our Father. And I think we are all in one family of God. And we are in the mystical body of Christ. So wherever I go, I serve God's people. So I decided to leave Vietnam. So I went home to say goodbye to my parents. And I said, I'm going. So they said, where are you going? I said, I don't know where I'm going, but I have to go. So I knew maybe I will never see them again, because I fled North Vietnam to South Vietnam when I was 4 years old, and my mom did not have a chance to see her mother and father. So I said, maybe I will never see them again, but I have to go. So then I was on the last plane with the orphans before the fall of Vietnam to come to San Francisco with 162 orphans with disabilities. And then the sister in St. Paul welcomed me into their community. And I lived with them, and they was very kind to me, and I met many very good friends. And so I was in the States for 2 years, and later on I went to Macau, Hong Kong, Korea, Thailand, and different countries to work with the poor. I came back in 1987. And in 1988, Pope John Paul II, now he's a saint, canonization of 107 Vietnamese martyrs. So I was able to go there. And I went to Lourdes, and I went to Fatima, and I begged Our Lady to allow me to go back to Vietnam to see my parents. Because after 2 years, I heard that the communists put my father in jail. They took our house. They put my parents in the jungle. And so I said, I want to, and all of them were so sick. So I said, I want to see them, and asked Our Lady, please let me see my family for the last time. And it was a blessing. After I came back, I saw the visa to go to Vietnam. So I said, now the people still escape by boat out of Vietnam, but I said, I have to go because, so I went to Vietnam. I saw my family with the mud floor, straw roof, a little pond in the front, dirty water, and they drink that water and they wash with that water. And they said they all died in this place. So I took my father to North Vietnam to apply for them to come. And it was a miracle from God. If we trust in God, I always remember, I will bring you back to your homeland. And he kept his promise. So then they allowed 21 members of my family to come to the United States in 1988. You know what day they came here? Halloween. Talk about culture shock. They were so scared. They didn't know what's going on. I said, don't worry, they were like this only today, okay? But after that, they love Halloween. They turn the light on, they bought the candies, and they really wait for the children to come. And so I knew my family will be here in the United States. They have religious freedom and they have enough to eat. And so I came back to the United States. I was praying. I said, what can I help those who are left behind? When I saw the children stand in the front of the restaurant to wait for the leftover, the elderly with aches and pain, as you know, no medication. And the children, if they have no money, they cannot go to school, so they don't know how to read and write. So in my prayer, I heard, my people are suffering. Whom shall I send? And I said, Lord, send me, Lord, but please show me the way. So then I heard that you collect aluminum cans, you can have some money. So I asked permission from the sisters to allow me to collect the cans on my day off. So I walked on Grand Avenue with the homeless girls. On my way back, I stopped by Central Park in Lexington. I get into the dumpster and get all these cans. So I got the car full of cans, and I was so happy on the way to Rice Street. It's a recycling place, and I said, I'm going to make a lot of money, you know. So after they weigh my cans, you know how much I got? $1.75. And I hold my money, and I said, oh, all that I get. So I said, never mind, but it's better than nothing. So I continue until today, after 36 years, and I have a nickname as Sister Cans. But I don't mind. They remember, they call me by that name. They remember to collect the cans for me. So I go to Vietnam every year. If not, it's COVID, so I can go and travel from South Vietnam to North Vietnam. I help the orphans, the lepers, the people who live in the mountains, and you know, with $10, you can give them 10 kilos of rice, 1 bottle of fish sauce, a bottle of soy sauce, and sugar. With $50, you can buy a bicycle for the children to go to school because they carry each other in the rain to go to school because they live in the jungle, the mountain. And with $70, you can buy for them a wheelchair for the lepers who lost their legs. And the thing makes me very happy that make the people know God is we give them the rice and they touched by the love and they believe in God. And so they ask us if we can build for them a little chapel in the mountains for $5,000 so they can gather together and to worship the Lord. And they have Mass only once a month because they didn't have enough priests. And the thing is, the people drink the water from the river. It's dirty than the water you have in the lake here. And you just imagine carry the water, bucket of water from the river up to the mountain. It's very hard work. So they asked us if we can give them a water system so many thousand people from the village can have it. So with 6,000 we can build for them like that. And you know, I believe in the Lord hears the cry of the poor. And the Lord hears the cry of the poor through the people like us. We are His followers because we belong to the family. And so I know that the Lord sent me here today. And if you hear His voice of journeying with me, please, you have more information here that what I'm doing, and you can help me bring hope and joy to the people, the poor people in Vietnam. And I just share with you how the presence of God, if we believe in God, God always show His presence to other people, you know, to you. During COVID, Sister, before the feast day of St. Vincent de Paul, Sister Agnes wrote to me and said, Sister, we have 600 families are hungry right now. They quarantine them. They cannot go to work, and the children sell the lottery ticket along the street. They cannot go out to sell, so they are hungry. Baby have no food, and I need $4,000. And I said, Sister, during COVID, a lot of people asking me for help, but now you pray, I pray, okay? And if pleasing to the Lord, He will give somebody to give us some money. And you believe it or not, the next day was the feast of Saint Vincent de Paul, who loved the poor. Vietnamese father named Vincent, he called me up out of the blue moon. Sister, do you need anything? I said, oh, Father, I need $4,000 to feed the poor people in Vietnam right now. He said, I will give you $4,000. My mom passed away and left me $4,000 for the poor. And why did he call me? I don't know. Only God knows. And another priest needs $500 to buy rice, to have a training for the young people about human trafficking and protect life. And I got the money, $500 in the morning, somebody gave me. By the evening, Father asked me and said, I need some money to buy the rice. I said, how much for 1 ton of rice? He said, $500. So I said to the Lord, I said, you know, you knew even before I needed. So I'm going to surrender to you like a baby in the hand of a mother. So from that time on, I trust in the Lord. I said, this is all for the glory and honor of God. So I thank you so much for your time, and may God bless you and your family with many graces and blessings. And thank you very much for your support.
Thank you, Sister Rose, for being here and for sharing with us the struggles, the challenges that you face in Vietnam with your people. God has been very generous to us here, the God who we will be able to receive tonight at this Eucharist. May we be generous with our resources to help bring Christ to others who are in need. At the end of your pews, there are envelopes that we'll take up a second collection this evening. If you are making out a check, we ask that you write the check out to the Church of St. Peter, but in the memo line, please write MCP for Mission Cooperation Plan, and we'll make sure that the money gets to Sister. Again, Sister, thank you for being here.